Hey everyone, Danny here over at Into Fly Fishing, and we are back with another affordable fly fishing rod review. Today, the Redington Path is our subject, and we did purchase this rod ourselves. And if it's something you are interested in purchasing, the link is right in the description below. And we gave this rod a full test, and we're going to look at all different aspects of it, from the materials to the quality to the overall performance of it. We saw that it had solid reviews on Amazon. About 100 people gave it 4.5 stars, and we wanted to see if it lived up to the hype. So make sure you sit back and enjoy this review. So first up is the action. Now Redington made the Path model, this 9-foot 4-weight, a medium fast action rod. Now, I was fishing with a few other Redington rods, and I have been lately, and I've enjoyed fishing the Path quite a bit. Maybe not as much as the Redington Crosswater, but I really do like the feel of this Path. That medium fast action is powerful enough for most conditions and most situations, but there are definitely limitations to it. But in terms of just the ability to throw all different types of flies, dries, nymphs, smaller streamers, this 4-weight medium fast action was up for the challenge, and I really did just enjoy the overall smoothness of it. Even in some windier spots and some bigger water and some more challenging scenarios, I just felt like that the medium fast action was up for the challenge in a lot of ways. So as mentioned earlier, this is the 9-foot 4-weight model. Now, this rod weighs 3.7 ounces. Now, to give it a little context, the Wild Water 9-foot 6-weight rod we've taken a look at weighed 4.4 ounces. The 9-foot 6-weight Drifter we reviewed from Moonshine was 3.4 ounces. And this one is a 4-weight 9-foot that comes in at about 3.7. Now, I like heavier rods, and I feel like I just have a bit more power as well as control, and I think that the 3.7 ounces really is a nice spot for this Redington to be in. It's not overly heavy, but it has just enough that you feel like it's there and it's going to stick with you in some of those tougher spots. So now let's take a look at the materials. Now, Redington has the Path series split up into two different categories. So anything 7-weight and higher is going to have a full Wells grip, an anodized reel seat that's ready for saltwater and freshwater. And everything below 6-weight, which this is the 4-weight, has a half Wells grip and just a classic reel seat. So do keep that in mind. If you want more of a saltwater, all-water type of application, you're going to have to go bigger than the 6-weight. But in terms of just quality, the stainless steel guides, the graphite blank, the comfortable wood cork. Now again, some might find this handle just to be a bit small for them. I don't have the biggest hands, so it worked well for me. I didn't think it was too thin. I wasn't getting cramps in my hands after fishing it when my hands were wet. Felt good. It is a double locking reel seat as well, so my 4-weight reel was able to stay pinned in nice and solid. There was a bit of movement, and I attribute it to mainly just this bottom locking system here, but overall I didn't feel like I was pulling my reel off my rod when I was using it, but it is something to keep in mind. But in terms of the tip as well, it's got a stainless steel tip at the end, so you can give it that pressure without having to worry about it, and for the price that you get and for what Redington wants it to be, overall the quality, you cannot complain. So casting ability. Now I took this out over a couple days. I fished it at just a park near my house the first day just to get a feel of it, to really get a chance to cast really as far as I wanted to, and it was able to with no obstructions. Really just get a feel for how it was going to perform. Then I took it to the water the next day, fished it for a few hours, and got a good feel of how it performs in both scenarios. Now, Redington has, I think, done something pretty special with the Path model as well as the Crosswater model. I was able to throw 50, 60 foot casts with this in 5 to 7 mile an hour winds, no problem. A few back casts and the line just shot out really nicely. I was using a weight forward floating line, just the trout line from Rio, and it performed wonderfully. It was super smooth, and I was really just shocked when I first started casting it. It felt like it was something that belonged in my hand forever. I'm not always a big medium fast action fan, but for whatever reason, the rhythm, the weight, all of this just meshed well with my casting style and the feel that I like. So I'm not an overly aggressive caster. I like to take my time, and I'm slower, and I think that medium fast action keeps up with me really quite well. So it was casting from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet really smoothly. After that, I noticed some wiggle in the rod tip. I noticed things were lacking in a bit of power. And for a 4-weight, that was really shocking to me. I did have the wind at my back a bit for sure for those longer casts, but overall it just was smooth. That extra length, I think, even though it is a 4-weight, that extra length really makes it easy to get that more power and just a bit more momentum on everything. So casting ability, really impressed. Now, if you're looking for a more medium, a truly sensitive, maybe ideal dry fly rod, I would keep in mind that this has a bit more backbone and it recovers a bit faster. So do keep that in mind, but I think overall it's quite versatile and I like that extra power. Now, the target fish species. Yes, you can cast this rod a ways and it feels like it has a bit more power, but stick with the trout and the panfish. Don't go any bigger than that. You're gonna A, probably harm the fish, and B, you might just find yourself completely overmatched. So if you're fishing most trout ponds, streams, rivers that are on the smaller side, you should be fine. Panfish, crappie, perch, sunfish, it'll handle those no problem as well, but don't go any bigger than that. So the target water. The 4-weight lends itself to more medium, smaller rivers and some stream fishing. Now, it is a 9-foot rod, so if you are fishing smaller streams, it can almost even work as just a check nymphing rod. Yes, it's a little short for it, but it has a good overall feel and enough sensitivity and obviously enough length that you can get a good reach and a good drift. But I think just small streamers, nymphs, dries on smaller rivers, maybe medium-sized rivers, and the occasional stream, and this path will be right at home. So Redington does offer a lifetime warranty on any manufacturer errors for the Redington path. Any user errors and things are not covered under their warranty, so do keep that in mind. But if you do notice something was screwed up when you first got it, or it falls apart after a few uses, things like that, you are covered. So the price of this rod. This rod is $90, depending on sales and things, but traditionally you're going to find it for around $90, and I think that's a really great deal for what you get. The 4-weight is a good option, but it does go all the way up. You can get 9-foot 9-weight rods, 8-foot 9-weight. So this rod is going to cost you around $90, depending on any sales or things along those lines. We got it for $90 off of Amazon. And the 9-foot 4-weight rod, that's a really good price. Redington does offer this rod anywhere from a 3-weight 7-foot 6-inch rod all the way up to a 9-weight 9-foot rod. So there's a whole bunch of different options depending on what you need. But I think for $90, this rod is well worth the money. Now, who is this rod for? Beginners, absolutely. The medium fast action, easy to cast, great rod to get to just know fly fishing. But I really think this works as an ideal backup rod because it's, one, just a blast to fish with, and two, it's more capable than a traditional $90 rod that you're going to find. You'll be surprised every time you use it, and you'll be thankful, and it might sneak into your primary rotation. even after you use it for a while. So a great beginner rod as well as a backup rod for the more experienced angler. Now overall, around 90 bucks for the backup rod, beginner angler. You aren't going to find an option that's much better than this. It's really affordable, it's quality, it's from a reputable brand. Redington has continually produced quality fly fishing gear for a couple decades now, and I really do recommend this rod. And if you do want to purchase it, the link is in the description below. And we appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.